Good morning everybody in the vinyl community, it's Weekly Rations here. Just a quick update today on my small Lemonheads collection. A few weeks ago, Bret from Life on This Planet blog did Friday on the Turntable with the Lemonheads It's a Shame About Ray, which is one of my all-time favourite records. Brilliant pop, not really punk, but brilliant poppy indie record. Absolutely love it to bits, I've loved it for years. So I thought I'd try and do a quick response to Bret. So, Bret, you talked about It's a Shame About Ray and the Lemonheads and Evan Dando. Great songwriter, great pop artist, obviously inspired by people like Graham Parsons and a lot of country elements in his music over the years. We were lucky enough to see him quite a few times actually. He played in Belfast for a while there in the early noughties, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. It seemed like he was playing every 18 months to 2 years, so I think we saw him 3 times on the trot, playing solo and then also playing with the band or at the very least another guitarist, I think. And all really good shows. I mean, he was quite distant, didn't really engage with the crowd particularly very much, but he did stop for a photograph at the end with my wife and our friend, so if I can find a photograph, I'll put it right here. So hopefully I find that photograph. So yeah, he was really nice to my wife and chatted to my wife and his friend for a couple of minutes. So, you know, fair play to him. I know he's had his trouble with drugs and whatever over the years, but you know, he's a good catalogue and he's still going strong. So fair play to Evan. So first record I wanted to show is Hate Your Friends on Tang. This record, all the Tang records have been reissued a million times, I guess on small print runs. So I don't know exactly where this one fits in regarding the OGs, but it's a great record. It is punky, it's teenage punk, so you know it's kind of numbskull, not exactly very intelligent. But stuff like Hate Your Friends is an excellent song. When you're a teenager and you're listening to a song called Hate Your Friends, it really gets you going, because even if your friends are fine, it just gives you something to rail against. You know, school kids or the jocks on the football team that give you abuse, whatever it is. Hate Your Friends is a song for that. A really good, powerful song. It's a decent enough wee record. Rot Velvet's good, Fucked Up's good, Sneakyville. So it's a decent record. I mean, I love the cover. I love everything about it. The thing about the Lemonheads, Evan Dando and Bill Daly sort of split the songs or whatever. Creator. That division is very easy to hear. You can really tell which song is a Ben song, you can tell which song is an Evan song. For me personally, I come down on the Evan side. I don't really like the Bill Daly songs. You can really, his songs are very basic, 3-chord punk, nasty sort of songs, whereas Evan's have always, even though they're still quite punky at this stage, Evan's songs still have that melody coming through, or trying to get out. So always prefer the Evan songs, I have to say. The next album I think was Lick, which I'm pretty certain I own, but I can't find. The next one that I picked up was the Favorite Spanish Dishes EP. This is a 3-track EP, which really, this is after obviously your man Bill has left the Lemonheads, so starting to really become the Evan show. There's an excellent version of Ride With Me on here, an acoustic version that I've loved ever since I heard it. So 15-20 years, or I don't know how long ago this record came out, 1990. I have loved this cover of Ride With Me. There's a lyric in it called, it says, "That pencil smell reminds me of school," and for me, years ago, I used to interpret that in my own way. So I remember once thinking that it was that pensive smell reminds me of school, which works, and also that Texas smell. I don't know where that came from, but it's that pencil smell reminds me of school. The clock on the wall, I can no longer fool. I mean, great little lyric. You'll find if you actually listen to Evan Dando's lyrics, he's a very good lyricist. It's all very small scenes, you know, of people. You know, he's not the kind of guy that's going out singing about the world and change and stuff. It's mostly about his life. You know, songs like Stove on Lovey, and you know, all little snippets of life. And I think he does it really well. And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. So this is a really good one. It has different drum and paint as well. So really nice wee record to pick up.
Sends me straight across the plain. He's in your hair. You'll forgive me my pain. You're my girl, don't you show it.
It's a Shame About Ray. Their second album on Atlantic, and obviously the album that broke the Lemonheads due to the cover version of Mrs. Robinson. So I think The Graduate was re-released in whatever year this is, 92 is it? Yeah, 92. The Graduate had been re-released, maybe the 20-year anniversary, I'm not sure. And the Lemonheads covered Mrs. Robinson. I can't remember if they were approached or why they did that. It wasn't on this album initially. I think there was a small press of this album without Mrs. Robinson on it, and obviously whenever that became a hit, it was repressed and given a major label push. So I absolutely despise Mrs. Robinson. I hate the version of it, partly because I've just heard it so much over the years, you know, on MTV and, you know, radio years ago. It's just so annoying to listen to, and I don't think it fits the album. It doesn't fit the album. It's kind of just tacked on at the end. This album is a nice piece of work without Mrs. Robinson on there. 6 tracks on each side if you didn't have Mrs. Robinson. But just to talk about the album itself, absolutely one of the best pop indie crossover albums you'll ever hear. If you wanted to get someone into the Lemonheads, this is a phrase I always seem to use about bands, is give them this, and you don't have to give them anything else. They could just start and stop here if they wanted. It more or less contains the perfect Lemonhead sound. It's got the perfect lineup with Juliana Hatfield and Linda Carlisle does backing vocals on one of the songs. It just flows so well. Just for every song, just sort of around the 2.5 to 3 minute mark for every song, and they just push into each other with hardly a break and hardly a slow song amongst them. And when they are slow songs, they're very introspective, and you know, it gives you a chance to catch your breath. You know, It's a Shame About Ray. I just love it. I just absolutely love it, and it stands the test of time. I don't think it's coloured vinyl or anything. I think it's just black vinyl. But it really stands the test of time. So that's probably the perfect Lemonheads lineup there. Juliana Hatfield went off with their old soul stuff, as you probably are aware. I have a few of her pieces as well. Yeah, perfect, Bret. An absolutely brilliant choice for Friday on the Turntable. The 10 inches. These are all UK releases. I don't know why the UK seem to get lots of cool releases around in the early 90s. Most bands that I followed brought out brilliant releases in the UK, like Sonic Youth, Dennis Shore Jr. and lots of 10 inches, really in vogue for a long time. And the Lemonheads, each one of these is a 4-track EP more or less of its own. So, you know, a great way to use up B-sides. And before the internet, where else would you have got such good material? So the first one is It's a Shame About Ray, limited edition of either 5,000 or 10,000, it's hard to say. So we have Different Drum Acoustic, which was on the Favourite Spanish Dishes EP, Allison's Down to Happen and Rock and Stroll, 2 tracks from It's a Shame About Ray, only live versions. So, you know, a great little 10-inch this.
You can't see the forest for the trees. Don't get me wrong.
My favourite of all these 10 inches is the Mrs. Robinson one, surprisingly, because of the covers. Oh, it has a Being Around acoustic version, Divan acoustic version, and Into Your Arms acoustic version. And I remember trying to learn the guitar years ago, and these were the songs that I tried to teach myself, and I spent days at it. Right now, my girlfriend came in and she didn't play the guitar, and she was able to teach herself it in a day. So I have 2 copies of this, both a little bit battered, and one of these is going into my 100 subscribers competition. So if you like the Lemonheads and you want one, check out my 100 subscription.
If I was a dance floor, would shake a thing. If I was a rubber check, would you let me bounce?
And it's Into Your Arms, the electric version. And again, 10 great tracks. Miss Oldest Regrets, Little Black Egg, and Learning the Game. There are 3 obviously cover versions. So, pretty sweet wee EP that.
You're only learning the game. When she says that you're the only...
It's About Time from Come On Feel. Another limited edition. Probably 10,000 this time, because I'm up in the 6,000 here. 6,399. So, another great EP. Rick James acoustic style from Come On Feel the Lemonheads. Down About It acoustic, and Big Gay Heart demo version. Great B-sides to have. Quite a cool photograph there. Doctored by Evan. It's All True. Couple of great B-sides on this. We have Fade to Black, Live Forever, and Keep On Loving You. So, you know, Evan Dando doing Metallica? Yes please, it sounds awesome. The Live Forever one is okay, I'm not really an Oasis fan, and Keep On Loving You is really good. I mean, that's not my style of music, that kind of soft rock kind of crap, but puts a lot of emotion and heart into it, he really does. I picked this up, I actually sent away for this when I wasn't collecting vinyl, but for some reason it must have been cheap or something, so I sent away for this. I think it was like £2, which is Stop My Head, Shots Is Fired. This is off one of his solo albums, which I really like these songs.
You figure it out, not always right, but never in doubt, stepping aside for now.
Just do a quick run through of the CDs. There's not a lot there, just really, probably the most interesting one is Lovey. I wish I had this on vinyl because I really like it. I think this is it's kind of a cute album because it's got like strange bits in it, like tape loop mixes, or you know, answer phone machines and stuff in it, and cheerleader sort of bits. It's an interesting album, and it was their debut on Atlantic, and you know, I don't know how well it sold, but I thought it was a pretty cool album at the time. Whereas It's a Shame About Ray makes me think of, you know, drinking beers with my buddies when we were teenagers, and you know, hanging out with my wife. This is, for me, is quite a personal album because I remember just listening to this on my own quite a lot on my old Walkman, you know, while walking to school and all that kind of stuff, walking to the library. So Lovey is kind of more of a personal album for me. It's a Shame About Ray itself. Don't know why I duplicated that on CD as well. I guess just the. That same 4-track EP that I had earlier, It's a Shame About Ray, with the same 4 tracks. Can't explain why I have it on CD. Come On Feel the Lemonheads, which was the follow-up to It's a Shame About Ray. Really good album. This album was a wee bit more experimental. I don't know, he was on drugs and all that kind of carry on. But you get so many great pop songs. Great Big No, Into Your Arms, It's About Time, Down About It, Big Gay Heart, Don't Can't Decide, I'll Do It Anyway, Being Around. All like 8 or 9 perfect pop songs. But then you get the crap. The Jello Fund, Rick James Style itself. You know, not crap, that's not fair to say, but the more experimental kind of druggy bits that don't really fit in a Lemonheads album. But overall, a quality album, and again, one I'd love to pick up on vinyl.
Please don't break my big gay heart, big gay heart. Please don't break my big gay.
The same vinyl EP that I had, the 4-track EP with Metallica and Oasis and stuff on it. Not really sure why I picked that up on CD, can't remember. It must have been maybe in the bargain bin or something. Next we have a live EP, live at the Bret Theatre with a Griffith Sunset EP, which is some new tracks. So this came out, you know, early noughties, 2001. This came out in 2001, yeah. And I picked this up because this must have been around the time that he was doing the solo tours, you know, with guitar and pedals and stuff. And it's actually a really good EP. So then there's Stove, which I forgot to mention when I was talking about Lovey, which is one of my favourite Lemonhead songs.
Find a way to add it up. It might be hard, but it might be enough.
Then the last one from the Lemonheads is Baby I'm Bored, his solo album. This is quite a good album. Ben Lee wrote a few of the songs on it, and you can hear, you know, some of the songs are top notch, pop indie tunes. But there's a couple of good songs on here. Waking Up, Hard Drive is probably the best on it. Shots Is Fired. The Same Thing You Thought Hard About is the same thing that the same part that I Can Live Without. Great song. So, All In the Grass, All Wine Coloured. In fact, looking back on this, it's a really good record. I think.
Wine-colored grass. I'm in the grass, all wine-colored. I'm in the grass, all wine-colored, wine-colored.
The final couple of wee bits I wanted to show you was my Come On Feel the Lemonheads tablature book. So I think I remember trying to teach myself, you know, It's About Time and Big Gay Heart and all the kind of easier stuff until you get to these bar chords and F's and all those funny chords, and that was me beat. So I have to say this book hasn't really been utilised. And then also, good old VHS, 2 Weeks in Australia. I remember this coming out. This is quite great because it's pretty much all of the It's a Shame About Ray album on tour, plus a couple of the new songs. So. "2 Weeks in Australia," in case you can't see the sleeve properly. So yeah, VHS. I can't remember how much I paid for this when it came out. It probably would have been a good few quid. If you look at that tablature book, like £13 that was at the time, and that's going back 15 years. That's a lot of money. But why would you pay that kind of money for a book of tablature? Thank God for the internet now, yeah. So that brings me to a close. Bret and anybody who's watching, thanks for watching my Lemonheads video. I know it's just a small discography, but hopefully there's something in there you haven't seen before. Cheers, weekly rations.